So if you thought Patrick admitted to some heinous things last time, then you're in for a wild ride. Because Patrick, the head of the DaddyDaughterDreamTeam, which has now become one of TikTok's biggest and worst incest-based families, has now come out with information so disgusting that it makes everything before this point look like a nice long walk on a breezy summer's day with a pistachio ice cream and a cute ostrich. Now look, obviously I want to get into all that, but before that, excuse the background change, I'm in Florida at the minute, but more importantly, we're aiming for 300,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and if we don't reach it, I am going to burn every Waffle House in this country to the ground. And I'll vlog it too and put it on my hot new second channel where I'm vlogging my experience here in Florida. By the time this video comes out, 1 or 2 vlogs should already be out, so if you're at all interested, then check it out. It'll be top link in the description, so subscribe to both of them, but this one mainly because we're so close! Anyways, for those who aren't aware of the DaddyDaughterDreamTeam, I'd recommend you go watch my other videos on the topic because this is one of the few scenarios where, like, actually having context is almost vital in understanding just how decrepit Patrick is. But for those who are clued up, the lady who interviewed Patrick and sort of coaxed all the information out of him last time has now done an interview with someone else where she revealed sort of the, I guess, private communications that she was having with Patrick, where he admits a lot more than he did in that initial interview. And vitally, she comes in with the receipts to back it up as well. And again, this is like, this makes the Arialla account look like nothing. Like, that was pretty unforgivable as it is, but now I wish it was just that. You know, let's just jump into things, right? The actual interview is like 3 hours long. We're not going to watch all of that because I'm not a madman. I've got a very conveniently edited 12-minute sort of most important, biggest hits from the interview, if that makes sense. So without further ado, let's just have a look, shall we?
On vacation, you're with your family. He contacts you for a second interview, or did you contact him?
I think I think it was just like a back and forth. I don't think I was like, oh, hey, let's do a second interview. We were just talking about the live and everything. And that's when we were just trying to
need more to say.
So again, I don't want to sit here and go, I'm playing him.
You're just getting information out of somebody. I mean,
I did what I had to do.
She is playing him. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with her playing him because he deserves to be fucking played. Like, I don't think what he's doing is something that he deserves to be getting away with, if that makes sense. Like, we should be knowing about this shit. It should be public knowledge how disgusting the guy is. Like, we sit here and we make jokes because he is, like, laughably pathetic, but at the very core of this issue, it's not funny at all. Like, the guy, this is genuinely terrifying what is going on here. So I don't think there's any shame in this lady here admitting that, you know, she is playing him. Getting a job as like a good interviewer, you know, if you're interviewing someone very controversial, they don't really want to talk about like the things that people know they want to hear from them. So a lot of interviewers will like start off with really minor things like, oh, what basketball team do you support? What do you think of the weather today? And then sort of lead into questions like, so what about the allegations between you and that 6-year-old boy? So if you lead with that, if you start with that, they're going to shut down completely and fuck off, but not give you any good answers, right? But if you sort of lead with some nice calming questions, interrogation style, wear them down a little bit, and then go into the more pressing stuff, they'll be more likely to go like, oh, you know, me and that 6-year-old, we're good friends, but yeah, I guess maybe it was a little inappropriate. Oh shit, oh, I didn't mean to say that. Oh, fuck! You know, because you've lowered their defenses, if that makes sense. And I think she actually did that quite skillfully, getting Patrick to admit literally everything. And we get a lot more here as well, so. Unironically, big ups to this lady. She's done a very good job, in my opinion. I honestly do feel as though it's a pretty good habit that a lot of interviewers pick up, and I'm a fan of good habits. Which is why this video is sponsored by Fume. I'm sure we've all learned the hard way that regardless of the habit, quitting cold turkey in most cases is ridiculously hard. Especially when you're as neurodivergent and loopy as I am, which statistically a lot of you are. So what every credible source advises, as opposed to quitting cold turkey, is replacing the bad habit with a better one. That's where today's sponsor, Fume, comes in. It's not a vape, it's not an e-cig, there's no smoke, there's no vapor, there's no nicotine, so you can use it anywhere pretty much. It's literally just flavored air. You draw through it, you get food grade flavor, there's no chemicals, and there's no addiction. Just pure, unadulterated satisfaction. To be honest though, it is a little addictive, but in the best way possible. It's got like a magnetic fidget design, so it makes it super fun to mess around with. It clicks and it like bounces and shit, and it's pretty cool. I was testing out this morning and ended up fidgeting with it for like hours without even noticing. It literally took me having to grab a sandwich from Walmart's grab and go section to realize that my hands were full and I still had this thing in my hands. Now I know what you're all asking after that, and yes, it was fucking disgusting. The sandwich, not the fume. This was mint. Speaking of mint, my personal go-to flavor is crisp mint. It's clean, it's refreshing, and mint has always had the added perk of keeping me sharp like a cold shower. But they've got tons of options. They've got like citrusy options, earthy, cinnamony, mango's another standout for me. So there really is something for everyone, no matter what your tastes are. My favorite thing about it by far is just the pure convenience though. Like there's no batteries, there's no charging, you just pick it up and you use it whenever you feel like it. It all just flavors your mouth, it doesn't go anywhere near your lungs, it's as easy as... And that's it really, you just get a good flavor out of it. It feels good in your hand, it looks sleek, and it actually gives you something to replace the urge instead of just pretending that it's not there. Don't take my word for it though, over 700,000 people have already made the switch to fume to build better habits. And now's a great time to try it yourself, because if you order a pack using my code Dankyjabo, you'll get a free fume topper, which is this wicked wee accessory that super levels up the experience. Just click the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen to grab yours today. Alright. Back to the video.
Talking to him, whatever, about the live, about everything, about the backlash, about what was coming from him admitting this. And so he writes, and I can show that this, I don't know if you can see, this comes from Unpack. So when I went live earlier, I did say it was Instagram where he admitted it. No, I got that confused. It was actually on his Patrick Unscripted.
Just a heads up, these screenshots have been released. I'll show them all on screen now. I'm not going to leave them on screen for too long. The point of them isn't really for you to read them. It's just to show you that they exist. So when this lady reads them out and we sort of sit here and react to those messages, we're not like, there's no, I guess... haziness as to whether or not the messages are real just because we're not seeing them and only hearing them. Like, yes, she is reading them out and she has picked out what messages to release, but we know these are real. Like, this isn't fake. She doesn't go over all of these screenshots in this interview here, but we will go over the ones that she misses out because it's very interesting.
As you can see here. And then we ended up moving over to Instagram because as I'm reading this, you'll see why. Because the characters were too long. He couldn't write everything to me on TikTok.
Okay, do you want to go into what the discussion was between the two of you?
Yeah, I'll tell you right here exactly.
Okay.
He goes, so I asked him, did you write the Miss Arialla Librotica account? He goes, so yes, I wrote that story. That is the only story like that I have ever written. It was complete fiction and it was hard for me to even write, but I was being stupid trying to get traction for the whole AI account. And terrifying as it is most of the top read stories on Literotica.
Okay, so immediately we got the worst admission by far, which is the admission that he wrote the Literotica account. Now he says that he only wrote one of the stories. It doesn't make any fucking sense. He's doing the exact same thing he did last time where he was like admitting to one thing, hoping that it makes him more credible in that he didn't like admit to the other things. Like, oh, maybe if I admit to this one wrongdoing, it'll make it more believable when I deny all the other wrongdoings because like I come across more honest now. That only works if you're talking to an utter fucking fool. I think, to be fair, I think even they would clock on that it's like bullshit as well. I don't think anyone believed Patrick when he said that last time. I hate this like virtue signally sort of like, oh, that most of the top stories on Literotica are like incest based and oh, that is so terrifying that that's the case. Oh, I wish that wasn't the case, but oh, you know, I really wish I didn't have to do this, but I have to write an incest story about a mother shagging their son or whatever. I really don't want to do it, but there's no other choice, man. It's the only way I'm able to live my life. Here we go. Hot mummy fucks stud son. So I'm sorry, you did not make this because you had to, because you don't have to. No one is in a position in life where they have to write stories like Daddy and Mimi go to a hotel. And a sequel, no less, as well. You did it because you enjoy doing it. Like, there's no other explanation for it. It was hard for me to even write it. Just go fuck yourself, man. You're lying. You're a fucking Weasley little liar.
There, I said it. Now you know everything that we have lied about except for one thing. Sarah never moved out completely.
Why is he talking like some anime villain? At like the end where he's like explaining all of his plans. He's got the superhero like tied down, ready to be killed, but instead of just killing him, he explains all of his plans first and then the guy gets saved at the last second, right? This is what's happening here. He's like, now you know everything, except one thing. It's like, bro, you're not in a fucking anime. Just talk. But yeah, just another admission as well that Sarah never moved out completely. That is one that I was genuinely a little bit hazy on when I made my video sort of detailing Sarah's move. I didn't know whether or not she actually had moved out. I think all of my belief that she had moved out was more from a place of like wanting to believe that she had moved out because I really do not want her in the same vicinity as her dad. I think she's genuinely unsafe around him, and that's not even like exaggeratory to say.
We got a 2-bedroom apartment at the extended stay, and the second bedroom has a second kitchen and a door, so it is kind of the same but not really. So many people were pressuring her to move out, that she just wanted to try to get a break from it all, and she didn't want to leave TikTok, so she felt it was better just to make people believe she left. That is it. That is the full truth. But in order to truly understand how I could possibly justify trying to make money off of that, then my life and the events leading up to it are even more important. So do what you will with this info. If you are willing to hear the rest, then I will put together a biography of my life as short as I can. I Pray my trust is not misplaced.
A biography of my life. So an autobiography. You're not a very good fucking writer. Fucking author doesn't even know what an autobiography is. Why would you say biography of my own life? Just say auto. There's a word for that. It's like if someone asked me like, oh, what do you do for work? And I was like, oh, well, I make videos and I upload them to YouTube. Okay, so you're a YouTuber. Why you give me this like long-winded explanation? Oh, by the by, the fucking customs guy at the airport when I came into Florida was annoying me. He was some weird little guy. And he asked me, so, what do you do for work? And I'm sat there like, fuck, okay, here we go. I'm a YouTuber. And he's like, okay, all right. What does that mean exactly? Like, what kind of videos do you make? And I'm sat there like, oh no, is he gonna like check my channel out and see the shit I've said and like fucking deny me or so? Are all these comments that warned me about customs going to come true? Obviously, he doesn't whip his phone out and type Dankyjabo in or whatever, but I had to explain that I make commentary videos and shit. And he goes, how much money does that make? And I sort of gave him a look. I was like, for real? And he was very offended at that. He was like, sir, I'm asking you a question. And I went like, oh, it makes a bit more than enough to live off of. And he goes, no, sir, I need the exact amount per month. And I'm like, I'm baffed at this point. I'm like, fuck's sake, I'll just say it because like, I can't be bothered to stay here. I don't want to risk anything. So I say it and he's shocked. He's like, you're telling me they pay you that much to just sit down and talk? And I'm like, bro, can you fucking let me out, please? Like, why is this important to the safety of your country? The Dankyjabo YouTube channel. I don't say that, obviously, but I'm there for like 10 minutes. The line's being fucking held up. It's a long line. Long story short, people just need to get to the fucking point. Like, stop with this long-winded, flowery bullshit. And Patrick, you need to learn some new words.
Like, yeah, like, sure, write me the biography. I'd like love to hear from the beginning to now, like everything. And then I did say to him, I did say to him, would you do a second interview? Letting people know this information. He goes, I will be thinking about it. I am nervous as hell because I'm doing this to, so this is where people are like, oh, how did you get to do this? Like, you must have paid him. You must have done this. And he says right here, I am nervous as hell because I'm doing this to free myself. And all I can see is what people are going to think. I'm starting to believe, however, that God is using you to bring this to light. And so I have to trust him above all else. I said, absolutely, amen.
Absolutely, amen. Yeah, so that's more of this lassie trying to coax information out of him. And again, I think it's good. Like, I think it's good that she didn't go, well, fuck you, you piece of shit. You're writing all this incest porn. It's disgusting. You shouldn't be fucking doing that. What she's doing is the correct thing to do, in my opinion. It's like all interrogation. You want to, like, make them believe that you're their friend, if that makes sense. And Patrick is so fucking thick that it's actually going to work on him. Because it's not like this lady's like a professional journalist or whatever. She's a TikToker. Not to demean her or anything. I don't mean to be disrespectful there. Like, she has done a good job here. But I feel like, you know what? Just to show you how disgusting this is, for if you forgot already, I think he admitted that he wrote one of the stories on the Literotica fan account. We know that's all bullshit. He wrote them all, right? It's all the Babe for Dad account, right? So how the fuck could he have only written one of them? Who wrote the others? His wife. So I'm going to give you a quick scroll through of these stories, just so that you know what Patrick Getchell has been writing on the internet anonymously, whilst, by the way, his whole account is known for him being too close with his daughter and potentially being an incest family. Like any video with him, his wife, and Sarah, the wife looks like the third wheel. They'd rather her not be there. So just have a look at these titles. I'm not going to actually read the stories, right? Maybe I will a little bit just to show you like the true extent of what this is. But anyway, these titles, my hot mummy fucks stud son, and then you got part 2 as well. Daddy leaves for a business trip. Mummy and son carry on. And the son's name is Bobby as well. You can look at the sort of genres over here as well. Every single one is taboo / incest. I've not seen this one before. Mimi loves her daddy and her mummy. Again, man, he's so bad at English. Why is this first her capitalized with the H and then the second one isn't? That's the biggest problem with this Literotica account. Okay, I'm gonna read a little bit of this one and just bet, I want you to picture Patrick's fucking face and like him behind his counter writing this shit with Sarah and his wife in the house with him. Daddy, can we stay home and play? You really should go to school, Mimi. I don't want you to fall behind in your last semester of high school. Daddy, I'm way ahead of the other kids. I should give them at least a day to catch up. Bill laughed. She had a point. So clever and so adorable. Hard to resist. Okay, Daddy, come get in bed with me. And then you can see here, Bill didn't have to be asked again. He chucked his clothes and slid into the bed next to his warm. I'm not reading that fucking last couple of words there. I love feeling all your skin on. Again, okay, I can't read these. I'm just gonna show. I'll just show you this sort of page here. Naz, put this on the screen, man. I'm not reading it. You can read it on your own volition. I'm not reading this, right? Naz, it is imperative that you do not cut back to my face. Leave this on screen for everyone to read. For people who are just listening to to the audio, that's probably for the best, actually. Like, trust me, you are not missing out on anything mind-blowing here. At least in the positive sense. It is pretty fucking mind-blowing in all the worst ways. Now, it would be one thing if, like, this was a completely unknown family who, in all other aspects of their family life, act completely normally. It would still be disgusting and terrible and worrying, but it would be one thing. But this isn't that. This Lit Erotica account and all the stories here, the tens of stories here that are written exactly like this one, is only like one factor in a multivariate situation here where every single aspect of every single video that they've ever put out all points towards Patrick liking incest and liking children. He made like borderline AI CP on the Arialla Brigmon account. He sat here making barely legal incest pornography. And the thing that he's famous for online is being way too close to his daughter, even going so far as to propose to her with a fucking purity ring. Now, when you add all those things together, it really does not paint a pretty picture. Like, this whole thing is so unbelievably grim and like just wrong and horrible and not funny in the slightest. If Patrick wasn't such a pathetic wee like creepy fucking sleazeball, I don't think we find it funny at all. Like, if he wasn't trying, if he didn't genuinely believe that he had us all fooled, there wouldn't be anything to laugh at. But because he thinks he's like this evil fucking mastermind, there's humor to be found in it because he's just such a specimen. I'm only saying that because I don't want you to take me, you know, laughing or busting joke at a certain point in this like series here about the DaddyDaughterDreamTeam as insensitive or downplaying how serious it is. I'm fully aware of just how decrepit this whole thing is. It's just that this isn't really a true crime channel. Like, I like to make jokes to sort of add levity to the whole thing, if that makes sense. Obviously, I'm not doing so as much here, because, I mean, that should speak for itself, really.
If we work together, and with his guidance, I'm sure we can find a way to close the door on this in a way that will show the truth without completely destroying me or my family. I said, I agree with you. He goes, I know you are not completely on my side, and I'm not delusional enough to believe we are friends.
He is delusional because he's saying, I know you are not completely on my side, which implies that he thinks she is somewhat on his side. Patrick, you're a naive little fool, but that is a good thing here because you're actually like, it is because of that you're telling us all this information. Like, he probably thought that she wouldn't leak all of this, you fucking idiot. Not only did she leak all of it, but I completely back her decision to do so. As much as I'm usually not a fan of leaking private messages, nah, I don't give a fuck here. Like, you don't deserve any sympathy.
Because I made it very clear to him, we're not friends.
Yeah.
Like, we are not friends. We will never be friends at all. But I believe you have the right intentions, and ultimately something like this requires a not so neutral party, because in the long run, if I worked with someone who was already my friend, then everyone would question it even more. So you have it right here. He says it.
That's true. It's a good thing that you have no fucking friends, because then it would actually be a little bit of a problem. And yeah, I refuse to believe that Patrick has friends. There's just no way. If Patrick has even one single friend, then anything is possible, really. I'm sure we can find a way to close the door on this in a way that will show the truth without completely destroying me or my family. It's not possible, man. You're fucked. And by proxy, you fucked everything for your family as well. Like, you have ruined your life and you've ruined their life. Your daughter's like, it's done now. And this is the big fucking problem, is like, you have caused irreparable damage to your daughter's life. If she never clocks onto the fact that she's been fucking manipulated and abused her entire life at this point, then that's obviously a horrible thing. If she does eventually clock onto that fact, it's not as though everything you put her through is just going to disappear. Like, that has lifelong effects. And not only that, but it's all on the internet now. Every moment of her defending you, everything is on the internet. All these stories, the fucking weird obsession you had with that one celebrity, the AI CP that you were putting out. It's all online. It's all going to be there forever. Videos like this one are always going to exist as well. Like, I have no idea why Patrick is still in this sort of mindset that he can fix things, or it's not all gone to shit by now. It's like, it's over, man. There's no way to win over the public at this point.
I'm not his friend, and I think that's why he said at the very end, if we were friends, people would question the legality of everything. Apparently, when he moved to Texas, he was living with a pastor and his wife, and when Sarah went to the hospital for the CPS case, like, I guess they kicked him out. I mean, this story goes so deep, the moving around as much as they did to escape, the CPS and everything. They were homeless. He talked about that they were homeless, that they had no food, that, he was so fixated on social media that they were living in campsites. I asked him about Babes for Dad. He said that wasn't him. I I asked him about Suspicious Quail. He says it wasn't him. He never played that game.
So focused on social media that you were living on campsites and shit. Just get a fucking job, mate. Like, get a job. I mean, like, the fact that this is technically your job, once again, disgusts me. I think only focusing on social media or your hobby or, like, YouTube or something is a bad idea generally. Like, it should be, like, a side thing that you are doing, like, as a side hustle next to, like, the main thing that you're doing for money that maybe you don't enjoy as much. But especially if you're going all in on something like that, obviously the danger is that most of the time it doesn't work, but, like, especially when the all-in is pretending to... not even pretending, worst case scenario, but I can't even fucking say it, man. I hate describing what he's actually doing because it goes against every bone in my body. I'm sure you know what I'm getting at here.
Certainly played that game.
Yeah.
That person said, without a doubt, they know for a fact that he played that game.
Yeah.
And when that person heard the YouTube video, said, with not even, like, she couldn't, like, within seconds was like, oh, that's Patrick.
So you can confidently say 100% Sarah knew what the account, the Literotica account was written, and it was written by him. So every time she would come on here and say, you pansies, what is wrong with you people? She was sticking up for him.
He said that she knew about all the other Arialla stuff, the Instagram account. Well, so hold on. I'm trying to remember exactly because I don't want to say something that's not true. I don't think she knew about, well, this is what he said. She didn't know about the fan view and she didn't know about the Literotica. She knew about the other stuff. But then when it all started to come out, he felt like he had to tell Sarah and Teresa. I was told, because this person was around during this incident.
I don't think it matters whether or not Sarah knew about the accounts. Like, I don't think if she did know, it makes her sort of complicit in all of this. Like, she's someone who has lived with Patrick her entire life since birth. So she's completely been, like, under his thumb, under his manipulation. There is not one moment of freedom that this fucking woman has had. She got proposed to with a fucking purity ring, and that's their biggest video. It has millions of views. The whole world knows about it. And she thinks that that's totally okay. That should tell you everything you need to know. Like, she's been completely brainwashed by her father. Like, one of two people that you should trust most in the world has fucking betrayed her like that, and just dictated the direction at every point in her life towards the worst possible direction. I don't think she has a job. She's not moved out of her pet. Like, her dad is keeping her close to him at because the higher the chances, I guess, for Patrick, the further away Sarah gets from him, the quicker she will figure out how fucked up everything that he's been doing is. And he can't have that, because if he does that, his money girl's gone. Like, she is the fucking core of the Daddy-Daughter-Dream-Team. She is the daughter. If she's gone, everything sort of goes to shit. So even if Sarah did know about it and is sticking up for her dad or whatever, she genuinely believes that's the right thing to do because it's all she's known. So I find it very difficult to actually, like, place blame on her.
That Teresa rushed Sarah to the emergency room. She was wearing a robe with no underwear on, and that prompted a CPS case.
Do you know about how old she was?
12, maybe?
12, wow, okay.
She was young, middle school, I believe. But the hospital that this took place at, like, burnt down. They ended up moving. There's a lot of chit-chat around, church, different, in their community of people. But when I asked Patrick, I said, listen, this is what I know. Like, what's up with this? He goes, yes, it's true. The CPS case is real. He said that she had lice and all of a sudden had excruciating pain in her stomach and got rushed to the hospital. But then I found at that same time, there was a Facebook post about how Sarah was rushed to the hospital for getting a toy thrown at her head by Hunter. So there's 3 different stories being told about the same incident of being brought to the hospital.
I don't know if you're familiar with...
I mean, it's no surprise here that he's a fucking liar. Like, of course there are going to be separate stories. He makes them up on the spot every time. That's why lies are usually a bad fucking idea, because you've got to memorize them all, and it's impossible to remember every lie you've ever told, and you'll trip up eventually. There's always someone somewhere with a big nose who knows, and will trip you up and laughs when you fall. So don't lie. If you must write prose or poems, and the words you choose should be your own. Don't plagiarize ever. Fucking horrid thing to do. Speaking of which, those stories are like the only thing I've seen Patrick write that don't look like AI. Like, I'm not even lying to you. Everything else that he's done, the AI, like, Brigman stuff, all the music and shit, it's all just AI. But that Literotica stuff is like the one fucking thing that actually looks like it was written by a human. I mean, once again, it just goes to show, like, how much he it's sort of proof that he was enjoying it. He didn't just stick a prompt in and fucking copy paste it. He reveled in writing that shit. He enjoyed it. Like he took pleasure in writing it. He did it for the joy of it, the thrill of it. If it was just for money, he wouldn't have given a fuck. He would have AI'd it like everything else he did.
Abuse happened to them, but they usually do complain of stomach issues, stomach problems, nervous stomach, IBS, pain in their lower intestines, pain in their like groin area that they can't.
I believe she wasn't.
Does everybody hear what she's saying right now? CPS has been around. I have called. I know that there's other people that have called. They cannot do anything because Sarah is a adult. They won't do anything for Hunter. And I listen to what I'm telling you guys, and I'm being 100% honest with you right now. Okay, they cannot do anything with Hunter. This is what I have been told by multiple different people that I've spoken to, because he has food, he has shelter, and he has clothes. And as long as he has his own bed to sleep in, there's nothing that they can do about it.
I believe Sarah hasn't left because of Hunter, because Sarah has been contacted by people that she's known her whole life, telling.
Yeah, unfortunately, there just isn't much CPS can actually do, because there is no undeniable evidence of the incest actually taking place, or like, you know, Patrick's abuse actually taking place. All they know is that Patrick's a fucking weirdo, but when they go to visit it, everything supposedly looks okay. But the children don't look as though they're in any imminent danger. They have food to eat, a bed to sleep on. So optically, it looks a lot more, I guess, pleasurable and normal in terms of like family-wise, compared to maybe a different household where the children literally can't put food on the table or don't even have any beds. You know what I mean? Like, comparatively, there's just really not much CPS can do here. Maybe with all these fucking admissions, maybe there's like more of a case to be made for a case to be made. But thus far, yeah, I mean, real fucking problem.
Live with me. I will pay everything. Like, whatever you need, let me take you out. And she won't leave. She will not leave. And I believe.
And I've said this before.
Hold on. I was told that Sarah is like the parent to Hunter. She makes sure he showers. She feeds him. She homeschools him. She does everything for him.
Goes back to the whole ring situation. He gave Sarah a ring, and didn't give one to Teresa, because in my opinion, I feel like he's embarrassed of Teresa.
I'm about that. I think so as well. Like, whenever he makes videos with Teresa, he had like a wee series that I did in my first video on the Daddy Daughter Dream Team where he gave like love and relationship advice. Yeah, imagine that, by the way. With Teresa next to him, and like he would begrudgingly put his arm around her. And the advice, I'm not even fucking joking to you. He goes like, hey, so if you want your wife to feel loved, then you should tell her that like you love her and shit. All right, that's enough for this episode of wife advice. I'll catch you on the next one. And that was it. I was like, wow. Unbelievable. Fuck. I never would have thought of that one. Cheers. But it looked as though he would rather have been anywhere else. Like, whenever he's in videos with his daughter, he looks like he's having the time of his fucking life. When he's with his wife, he looks like he'd rather be dead. And as grim as it is to say, I feel as though the reason why his son, Hunter, doesn't get as much attention is because he's not interested in men. Which I realize, saying it out loud, it's so fucking grim to say. But I honestly believe that that is the reason.
And that he so desperately wished that Sarah was his wife. Maybe he got so defensive. Teresa.
Yeah. You know, the fact that he got so defensive, and when I said, why don't you buy a ring for her? And he like won't do it. Oh, I'm being pressured, or this feels controlling, or whatever he said. I can't remember the exact words, but it was like, that's your wife, man. Like, you don't want to buy her a ring?
I think she's a burden. I think she was just a vessel to give him a child. I'm being honest.
Why is she wearing dirty shirts? Why does she not have proper, toenail care? Why is she walking around dirty and Sarah has decent clothes? Like, that's
in the front seat of the car.
It's front seat of the car. It's a generational family thing.
Do you know anything about that personally? Did he express that to you, or have you spoken to anybody about that?
He expressed and was honest that he was the victim when he was a child.
He was.
Not a fucking excuse in the slightest. And by the way, might not even be true. Like, I usually am very hesitant when it comes to like not believing victims of stories. But in this case here, I would not doubt at all if he just made that shit up to make himself seem more sympathetic or justify this at all. Because there are some people who will go, oh, well, that explains the situation a little bit. I don't fucking buy that at all. It does not justify anything. Does not explain anything. It does not excuse anything. Like, the behavior that he is exhibiting is just as bad as though if nothing happened to him when he was a kid. I'm not saying I don't believe him, but I'm not saying that I believe him either. What I am saying, though, is bigger than that. I'm saying regardless of whether or not what he's saying is true, it doesn't fucking matter.
There was an OF account that came up that they had somehow linked it to Sarah. Do you know anything about that?
Yes, actually, I think this was around right before I left. I saw something and I asked him. He said, absolutely not, but I don't believe it. If you want the truth, I think he's lying to me.
I don't believe him either. I'll show you a TikTok about that OnlyFans account that it was, yeah. Sarah had an OF account at one point. Luckily, I don't think any like explicit images or videos were being shared on it, but the optics of having like, you know what, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. It'll be soon, don't worry. This interview's almost over.
I spoke to someone that has an actual OF account, and they told me to make the account, you have to send in a driver's license with your picture, and you
I
have
said
to
that to him. I'm like, this is a verified, like, this site is very protected for the laws surrounding it. You know,
Yes.
people's vote. Like, this is a very serious platform. Like, they take precautions very seriously, Patrick. I don't believe you.
Yeah, so those are all great points. Like, the account had her face on the banner and the profile picture or whatever. You kind of need to send in verification and shit. Like, and also I don't think anyone at that point in time, because this is quite old as well, I don't think anyone would impersonate her. I do think it was her. I think it was like you know what? I'll play the TikTok that exposed the Sarah Getchell OF first, or at least like gives us the overview on it. I don't think this is the initial expose or whatever, but we'll talk after it.
And I don't know if she was posting anything on it explicitly. It doesn't look like it. I think she was using it like a Patreon, and I think eventually we can all guess what they were going to post on there eventually.
Right, so that was the OF account there, and like she said, there was no like explicit images or whatever. It was being used as a Patreon, but why wouldn't you just use Patreon? It's because they know, well, Patrick knows, that the optics of having an OnlyFans account is so controversial and so maybe, I guess, misguiding for some people. Like, they will go onto it expecting a certain type of content, but then they can fall back on the excuse of like, well, no, OF doesn't always have to be that sort of content. It's we were just using it as a Patreon for like true fans to give us some money and like support us a little bit more. It's like, no, we all know what you're fucking doing here. Because if you really wanted that, you would have just used Patreon.
Seems legit from what they have shared. Is it true? I mean, at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal. Lots of people have OF. Seems in order to make an account, it has to be verified with an ID. And then I said, actually, I have a question for you. Want to do the live tonight? I was trying to get him to do the live because we had.
So this is her now reading the messages that she was sending to Patrick about the OF account.
If we did this like kind of spur of the moment live, would he be more inclined to maybe, because he's tired, overwhelmed, or so much on his brain, like would he slip up, right? He goes, honestly, Sarah says it isn't hers. And at the end of the day, I believe her. Reddit also posted about it, and there's no guarantees, as they said. You do have to verify with an ID, but that doesn't mean you have to use your real.
Sarah says it wasn't her, so I think that's sneaky as well. He's sort of shifting the blame onto Sarah. Like, okay, well, if it's not true, I'm not the one who lied. It was Sarah, and people seem to be on her side. So you're really gonna call Sarah a liar? Come on, guys. That is just. Why would you ever do something like that? It's like, no, you did it, and now you're trying to shift blame onto her. You fucking pleb. I really hate this. Almost said the C word there. I hate this twat. Fucking fat wanker. Honestly, he's such a twat.
Somebody, a friend, had come to me and wrote me a message telling me that when they were kids, they went camping, and Patrick tried to come into their tent in the middle of the night. And she had actually went to her parents and was super uncomfortable, and she kind of just never really saw them again.
Oh, can you elaborate? Why did Teresa try to leave Patrick? What happened? Why did she stay?
Well, I heard that she had a little thing with another man.
Teresa, my God.
Yeah, I believe it was at her work, if I remember correctly. And yeah, but I think she got scared and she ended up not leaving, I guess. And
What?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
And he found out?
Yeah.
Wow. Found out or talked to about Patrick, knowing that he's on Roblox. Does that give you any kind of red flags?
Why is she on Roblox, man? What's Patrick? He's not playing Dress to Impress, is he? He's not playing fucking Roblox Fortnite. He's on Roblox to talk to bastard children. Why does everything he do have, like, he thinks that there's plausible deniability there, that he can get away with going, oh no, I just enjoy Roblox. I think it's a very beautiful game and I love playing it. It's like, go fuck yourself, man. There's no plausible deniability here. I feel like even if you were fucking talking to a corpse, they would come back to life to tell you that you're bullshitting. Like, even a dead person wouldn't believe you.
I don't allow my kids to play Roblox. I know what Roblox is. It's a cesspool of pedophiles who go in there and contact children. The fact that he is on there just validates more how I feel about him.
It's like, what, you're gonna go on Yubo next, Patrick? Oh, I just want to make friends. I love children and I want to act like a fatherly figure to them. It's like, no, get off Yubo, you sad sack of bums. That goes to minors on Yubo as well. Don't go on Yubo, man. It's putrid.
Like, you're a grown man. Like, you have a PlayStation, you have an Xbox. Like, go play your adult games. Go on Xbox Live if you want to talk and communicate with other people. But the fact that you're hiding behind a profile and God knows what you're saying in chat rooms is vile.
Yeah, it's dangerous for sure. 100%.
And people are asking about Jenna.
Yeah,
You know,
that was my list of things to ask, actually.
Patrick said that 100% that was not Jenna's picture on his Arialla, that he used a AI generator. Don't believe him. I think it matches up to Jenna very easily.
So I really don't know if it is Jenna. Like, it does look like her a lot then. You know what? I'm fucking done giving him the benefit of the doubt. It probably was Jenna. It probably was Jenna because he's saying that it wasn't. I'm living by the sword. You know, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. I think that it is best to not take him for his word on anything. If he says something, believe the opposite. It's not Jenna, according to him, so it probably fucking is. Like, he was so obsessed with her, it just makes sense. Going to all the fucking meetups, calling her incessantly, like acting as though they were best friends or whatever when she's just a fucking, like, detached celebrity woman who played a Power Ranger, I think.
Though actually on that phone call that he was planning on going to therapy. Don't believe it if you want the truth.
I don't believe it either. He doesn't have a competition or a window to throw it out of, and he's going to make money to go to therapy.
Yeah, there's no way in hell he's started therapy. I didn't believe him for 1 second.
The person who told me that saw a corn video. What kind of corn video?
A video of someone who saw a corn video, a PNS. Wait, what?
Fucking therapy. So that's like classic YouTuber apology 101. Hey guys, recently I've been going to therapy to fix my issues. Now, I'm really sorry for what I've done. I understand that my actions were unforgivable, and I don't expect to be forgiven. I'm simply here to apologize. I do want to let you all know that after my cancellation, I attended therapy. I believe that I've improved so much as a person since then. This isn't even that, though. This is like if a YouTuber went, hey guys, I know what I did was disgusting and unforgivable, and I've not done therapy yet because, like, I really don't give a shit, but I'm sure I will at some point. In fact, you guys need to give me my career back, because if I'm starting to make money again, then I can go to therapy and be a better person and stop talking to children weirdly. So if I keep doing decrepit, disgusting shit, it's your guys' fault for not supporting me like good people.
Somebody was abused, and one of the things that they were forced to do was to watch certain videos. And when they were younger, and as they became an adult, being on TikTok, they come across Patrick's page and they noticed that video that I was forced to watch. So someone has put them in with these people and said that they remember watching a video and it was them.
Literally, she was so defensive. She's like, I'm never moving out. I am never moving out. And then a week later, you moved out. This is somebody like in your personal life you're talking to that you're never moving out, but a week later, now you moved out. You're a liar. He's like a whore for TikTok. He just wants all the attention and money. But he had sent me some screenshots of some email addresses saying that somehow to prove that it wasn't him on Literotica, it was like in his email, like, oh, this account is trying to log in. This account is trying to log in. But I'm like, well, wouldn't that prove then that, like, you had those accounts if, like, you're getting these emails?
Yeah, that wasn't exactly the highest level maneuver on Patrick's part, was it? Like, oh, look, I just got an email saying that someone was trying to log into my account, so that means it was... Oh... Shit. I was hacked. Okay, I'd like to go over some of the other screenshots that were released that weren't covered in that interview right there. The truth is the truth no matter what. I have never done anything to harm or groom my family. I have never even thought about it. I am just a father trying to give my family the best life I can. Did I go too far and make a horrible mistake one time? Yes. One time. Fucking horrible. Like, a horrible mistake one time is like getting really drunk and cheating on your wife. That right there is a horrible mistake. That should end the relationship. It doesn't mean that redemption is impossible. Like, you can still go on to live a fruitful life afterwards and grow as a person, but it is a horrible mistake. It's a fucking disgusting thing to do to someone, actually, the more I think about it. Like, girlfriend of a year or so is one thing, but fucking wife? Like, fuck me, that is a horrible thing to do. But once again, I don't think it is like an unforgivable thing that you should be, like, greatly punished for. Look, all this to say that, like, as fucking awful as cheating on your wife really drunk one night is, this makes that look like giving your wife a muffin. This is not a one-time horrible mistake. You've been doing it for the entirety of Sarah's life, and probably a little bit before then as well. Oh, I made a minor lapse in judgment for the last 30 years of my life. Just a one-time mistake. It only happens once every millennia. Just a 30-year stint of mistakes every now and then. No big deal. I have always been nice to everyone unless they aren't nice to me. I have had friends and most people I meet like me, at least to my face. I have no idea why anyone would be telling things that aren't true. He's such a mug, isn't he? Like, he is just... you know what? When I read his messages, I actually imagine it in his voice as well. You told people Hunter hit Sarah in the head, but that doesn't match with what you said. It seems like now the story is very different from whatever the actual truth is, Patrick. Even using his first name as well. That is brave right there. That's like some high-level interrogatory shit. I never told anyone that Hunter hit Sarah in the head. I swear to God, if I could find out who is actually telling these lies, I would be suing for defamation. God, this is so freaking maddening. Oh, he's even whipping out freaking at this point. Next thing you know, he's gonna start raising his fists and throwing hands man's the madman. It's not a lie. You literally commented on the post. If it wasn't true, you would never have wrote on it. You're fucking lying to me. I can see the post! And you can see right there, Patrick indeed did comment on it. Sarah's gonna be fine. Just a mild concussion is all. Something along those lines. Arrow sort of covers it a little bit. Unfortunately, we do not see the messages directly after it, if there are messages directly after it. So we don't know how Patrick reacted to it, if, again, he did react to it. It would be interesting, though, to see what he said. Can I be honest? I feel like he wrote more stories, and as I said many times, that is not illegal. I don't feel like someone overnight could write something like that without experience. I have never written anything like that. I have written in past some sexy stuff, but never published anywhere and always deleted or for my wife. What's he's writing erotica for his fucking wife, man. You're not writing sexy stuff, man. You're just not. Like, no one's watching, no one's reading that and going like, ooh, fucking... Let me enjoy my Friday night with this shit. You know, cup of wine, couple of grapes, and the Patrick Getchell porn account. Also, I have experience in creative writing. What is this? This is like, oh my God. Experience in creative writing. He took one class in year 3, and now he thinks he's a fucking author. Yeah, you're up there with James Joyce, mate. I think Patrick Getchell might have actually ghostwritten Ulysses at this point. I mean, when you see his, like, masterful writing, he's a genius, really. Sarah and I wrote an entire book. It was AI, man. It was literally AI. The only thing that you've done that isn't AI is the literotica stuff. True, that wasn't anything like this, but I still have a creative mind. I gave in to the temptation one time with no thoughts of reality, purely fiction to cater to a niche crowd that I thought might subscribe to a fan view. There really is nothing more to it. This guy thinks that he's like a pained, sort of traumatized artist, and that sort of makes his art incredible or whatever. Like, I feel like he genuinely believes at this point that he's like this really creative and like fucking ethereal being that just makes like amazing art that people really enjoy, but unfortunately, he's also a tortured soul behind it all. Gave in to temptation, by the way. So that is like almost you admitting that you're into this shit. Because why were you tempted to write a story about that? I will admit that choosing that specific topic was probably the stupidest decision of my life. With all the rumors about Sarah and I should never have even considered it. I literally dug my own grave and buried myself with that one stupid choice. If I had written just a normal erotic story, then all this would be a non-issue. Now, you wouldn't have. It wouldn't have. You couldn't write any erotic stories, especially about that. But like any erotic story would have been fucking really weird. But I had to try to boost popularity by writing something that would be read by a lot of people, and the top read stories on Literotica are from that category. So as they say, the rest is history. Fucking mug. Like, I honestly don't even know what to say at this point. I've got no words to talk about how awful he is. I'm sure you guys will help me in the comments. You guys are usually great at fucking laying into this bloke, but me myself, I've genuinely run out of words. I do not have the vocabulary to describe him. I could use a little bit more of his like creative writing skills. Maybe I could do a better job then. I'm reading the comments here. A lot of people are actually not fans of the interviewer. Are these only screenshots shared? Like, there's a lot missing. And then someone responds with, of course not. Why would she? She wants to stretch this out for attention for as long as she can. She intentionally gives us breadcrumbs to stretch out her 5 minutes of fame and monetize this terrible situation for all she can. She's seeking the attention and the validation of getting P to confess. She just wants the clout and TikTok cash. She did not give a single fuck about P, about Sarah, especially after she told her victim to hug her abuser. But see, right there, telling Sarah to hug the fucking dad or whatever, that is something that could be genuinely, like, I guess, put on or noted, I suppose, as a genuine horrible mistake. Like, that's not a long time sort of meticulous, sort of horrible pattern of behavior. That is a one-time mistake, in my opinion. I think she said that because she was genuinely trying to make Patrick believe that she was on his side or whatever, and without thinking, sort of, you know, said something and recommended something horrible to happen. I'm sure if you asked her now, she would regret that shit. Like, she wouldn't have, like, if you asked her now, she wouldn't go, oh yeah, I'm really happy I did that, actually. I'm willing to sort of forgive her on that part for everything else that she has got out of Patrick. And honestly, I'm pretty quick to call out both sides for being fucking horrible in one way or another in situations like these, but I actually really do genuinely believe that she's done a good job here. Like, yeah, she's making content out of it, but she's a TikToker. That's sort of her job. That's what she does. It's not as though the content that she's making impedes on the investigation, for lack of a better word, that she's doing. Don't get me wrong. I totally understand if you do have a problem with the way that she's going about it. I don't think it's perfect by any means, but she's not a professional journalist. She's just a TikToker who happened to get in communication with him and is doing a pretty good job. Like, it could have been a lot worse. Like, on the scale of all the possibilities of TikTokers that that could have been interviewing Patrick, I think we got pretty lucky with the one who ended up doing so. With all that being said, I think that's pretty much it for this video. So, I mean, honestly, I feel like this Daddy-Daughter-Dreamteam saga is closing right now, because I think that lady deleted her account because of all the shit she was getting. She's a mother. She doesn't want to sort of introduce all this fucking hatred into her life. From what I understand, all the money made from the lives as well has gone to charity, which is a good thing. So again, kudos to her for that. But with all that aside, I guess hopefully Israel having a good day. And hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to subscribe. We're aiming for 300k by the end of the year. Also, have a look at my second channel, Shepherd Boy. Or you know what? I might change the title or the name of the account at some point. I quite like Shepherd Boy. It's got cool origins. If you know, you know. Only real ones know the origins of Shepherd Boy. But if need be, I'll change the name. It's more of like an intimate channel where it's just sort of like, if you want more of me or want to see what I'm about, what I'm doing, there's no effort on that channel to appeal to an algorithm of any sort. It's just sort of me dicking around. So if that sounds cool to you, then give it a look. Also, if you're a Floridian or an American and you want to see my experience in your country, I think you'll find it quite funny. But more importantly, subscribe to this channel, right? That's the important one. And like the video. And comment, preferably, something nice about my hair. But whatever, man. That's really it. So I'll catch you on the next one, hopefully. Bye. And remember to use my link in the description, code Dankyjabo at checkout, or scan the QR code on screen for a free fume topper when you order the Journey Pack. Cheers!